The 7 layers of OSI model. What is an OSI model? OSI stands for Open Systems Interconnection. It is a conceptual framework for how applications communicate over a network. It was the first standard model for network communications adopted by all major computer and telecommunication companies in the early 1980s. There are 7 layers within the model, and the layers depiction is used to help users identify what is happening within a networking system. The OSI model layers are typically described from the top layer to down. The layers are described as application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical layer. The 7th layer is the application layer. It is where the application and user communicates application-specific protocols. It is the highest level of OSI model. The application layer is the OSI layer, which is closest to the end user. It means the OSI application layer allows user to interact with other software applications. Examples of the application layer protocols are Hypertext Transfer Protocols or HTTP, File Transfer Protocol or FTP, Post Office Protocol or POP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol or SMTP, Domain Name System or DNS. The 6th layer of the OSI model is the presentation layer. It prepares the data for the application layer. This layer formats the data in a way the receiving application can understand it. This layer is also able to encrypt and decrypt data if needed. The presentation layer takes any data transmitted by the application layer and prepares it for transmission over the session layer. Examples of presentation layer protocols are SSL, HTTP or HTML, FTP, AppleTalk, Filing Protocol, Telnet, and so on. The 5th layer of the OSI model is the session layer. It is responsible for establishing and terminating connections between devices. It simply controls dialogues between computers. It is responsible for opening sessions, ensuring they remain open and functional while data is being transferred, and closing them when communication ends. The session layer can also set checkpoints during a data transfer. If the session is interrupted, devices can resume data transfer from the last checkpoint. Example of a session layer protocol is the OSI Suite Session Layer Protocol, also known as X.225 or ISO 8327. The layer 4 of the OSI model is the transport layer. It adds the transport protocols such as TCP and UDP. The transport layer builds on the network layer to provide data transport from a process on a source machine to a process on a destination machine. It is hosted using single or multiple networks, and also maintains the quality of service functions. It carries out flow control, sending data at a rate that matches the connection speed and of the receiving device, and error control, checking if the data was received incorrectly, and if not, requesting it again. Examples are TCP or Transmission Control Protocol, UDP or User Datagram Protocol, and port numbers. The 3rd layer is the network layer. It handles the IP addressing and routing. At this stage of the OSI model, the source and destination IP addresses are added. The primary function of the network layer is to move data into and through other networks. It provides the functional and procedural means of transferring variable length data sequences from one node to another connected in different networks. Examples of network layer protocols are Internet Protocol, Internet Control Message Protocol or ICMP, Internet Gateway Management Protocol or IGMP. The 2nd layer of the OSI model is the data link layer. At this layer, the physical addresses are added to the data. The data link layer establishes and terminates a connection between two physically connected nodes on a network. This is the source and destination of MAC addresses and switches. Examples of data link protocols are SDLC or Synchronous Data Link Protocol, HDLC or High Level Data Link Protocol, SLIP or Serial Interface Protocol, PPP or Point-to-Point Protocol, LCP or Link Control Protocol, and NCP or Network Control Protocol. The last is the physical layer. It is the lowest layer of the OSI model. Its key is responsible for the physical cable or wireless connection between network nodes. This level establishes the relationship between a device and a physical transmission. It determines how physical connections to the network are set up and how bits are represented into predictable signals as they are transmitted either electrically, optically, or via radio waves. Examples of the physical layer are hardware in the physical layer, network adapters, repeaters, networking hubs, network interface cards, etc.